We're going to try 3 now. It's a story problem. It says Jonas downloads 8 songs each month onto his digital music player. We have to make a function table that shows the total number of songs downloaded after 1, 2, 3, and 4 months. Whoa, that told us to do an awful lot of things. And then it says, then identify the domain and range. So there's a ton of stuff to do. What's the first thing that they ask us to do? What's the first verb? Yes. Good, make a function table. And so we are going to draw our chart. And the x's, of course, go here, and the y's go here. Wait a minute, what's our rule going to be? Because we need to know what the rule is in the middle. Why 8x, Nate? You are right. Tell me what led you to believe that it was 8 times x.
Because 8 songs each month.
Ah, it'd be 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. And anytime we add the same number over and over and over, what operation is it? Multiplication. Good work. And so you need to be able to identify what's going on in the story problem, what operation are they showing me? Because you're going to not only do this type of thing, we're also going to be creating equations. Now, what do I have to have for x? X stands for the what? Input. So what are we going to input? Months. This stands for the months. And they told us what months we have to use, correct? What months do we have to use? 1, 2, 3, 4. They happen to be the same as the last time, and that's okay. What's y going to stand for? If x is the months, what you start with, what does the y stand for? Good. And in this situation, what are the outputs? The number of what? Songs. Good. I heard Brennan say it. The number of songs. I like to put labels on my function table so that I understand what it means in terms of the situation. I'm going to highly recommend you do that because the longer you're here, the more real life stuff we do. And ultimately in life, if you don't understand what your calculator is spitting out at you, it's worthless. Okay? So you need to know what the labels mean.
The calculator or you?
Either one. Sometimes your brain's the best tool, right?
Yeah.
How do I fill out the middle of the function table again?
8, like just go from the input 1 and put 8 times 1.
Good, because my x value for this row is 1. And 8 times 1 is 8 songs. Because after 1 month, I would have downloaded 8 songs. That makes sense in terms of the situation. The next row is 8 times 2. How come? Why am I putting a 2 here?
Because that's on the other side.
Because that stands for the x. Why do I keep putting an 8 in the front?
Because you have to follow the order.
Shaylin, tell me why? Good, that's what the rule says. The rule says that better be 8 every single time. The only thing that's changing is my variable. 8 times 2 is 16 what? 16 songs, because that's what the y stands for. 8 times 3 is 24 what? Songs. 8 times 4, because the x is 4, is 32 songs. Our function table is filled in. Are we done with question number 3?
Yeah. No.
What? What else do we have to do? Domain and range. So it says identify the domain and the range.
How to do that?
How do I start the domain? What does the domain stand for? Domain is the what, Morgan?
Oh,
Inputs. So what are my numbers for my domain?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good. X's are my inputs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and brace. And those little fancy parentheses are called braces. Would I have to list my numbers in order?
No.
No, but we do. Because why wouldn't you? That way you make sure you have them all. What does the range stand for?
Output.
Outputs. Where are my outputs in my function table? That's right, the y values. So it's 8, 16, 24, 32, and brace. Are we done with this one now? Yes.
Like if you're timing by 8 like that, it's gonna go up by 8.
That's right, absolutely. And so because you're adding 8 every time, that's a hint. Because remember, multiplication is adding every time. I will tell you, Caden, the more you look for patterns, the easier this part will be. And that's why I make you do the quick tables, because the people that know their facts really quickly can guess my rule way faster than the people that can't. And you need to notice that if I'm adding 8 every single time, that means I'm multiplying my variable by 8. Because if I add 8 every time, it's multiplication. Awesome connections. Good work.